Once upon a time, in a certain village, there was a small pond from where the villagers used to draw water. The water of the pond was so fresh that even angels descended from heaven every morning to bathe in it. A young man also used to fetch water from that same pond every morning. However, every time he went to fetch water, he found the water being splashed and dirtied. So the young man was curious and wondered who had splashed the pond so early in the morning. So one day he decided to find out. So before dawn, he went to the pond and hid himself in the bushes. To his amazement, he saw many female angels flying down from heaven, and the pond was illuminated. The moment that the angels reached the pond, they took off their wings and dived into the crystal water, and they started to bathe merrily. The young man watched the angels having fun in the water for a while in disbelief and knowing not what to do. He thought of informing the villagers about what he had seen with his own eyes. But at the same time, he was concerned that the angels would fly away while he was away sharing the news to the villagers. He made a plan to capture one of the most beautiful angels from amongst them. So he gently went and took away the wings of an angel and crawled back to his hiding place. The angels came out from the pond after playing in the water for some time, and everyone started putting on their wings. But sadly, for one of the beautiful angels, her wings were not found. She searched for it everywhere, but she could not find them. The dawn was breaking. A deep purple light started to appear in the eastern horizons, and the crowing of the roosters and the barking of the dogs began to break the silence of the calm morning. Her friends also helped her in searching for the wings, but in vain. Perhaps, worried by the thought of being seen and captured by human, they ascended to heaven, leaving her behind. Taking the opportunity, the man came out of his hiding place and cautiously asked, as if he did not know what had happened. And he said, "Oh, beautiful lady, what brought you here at this odd hour? May I help you?" "I came here with my friends, but while we were taking bath, somebody has stolen my wings. All my friends have gone up to our abode, leaving me behind," she said, crying. "Oh, so sorry to hear that. I wish I could help you find your wings. Come with me to my house. I'll help you in all possible ways," he comforted, and so he took the helpless angel to his house, and soon they became husband and wife. A few years later, the couple had two lovely children, a boy and a girl. With two little children beside them, they were happy, and the mother also gradually forgot the old memories of her heavenly friends. But it so happened that the little children cried a lot whenever their mother stayed with them, while whenever they were with their father, they did not cry. As the children grew up and they learned how to talk, their mother asked them one day why they cried so much when they stayed with her. "Mommy, you know, our daddy showed us beautiful feathers when we stayed with him and we play with it. But you never give us beautiful things with which we can play," the children said. After hearing this, the mother became very curious, and she wanted to know what things their father gave them to play with. When she asked the children told her that they did not know what it was, yet they knew that it was kept in a bamboo container by the side of the wall. Their mother started to search for it, and to her delight, she found her wings. She put on it excitedly and then quietly told her children, "I will go to heaven and throw down a rope. Then you will have to tie the rope on your waist, and one by one you two have to come up to heaven, holding the rope tightly." Saying this, the mother flew up to heaven. She then threw down the rope for her children, and in a short while the children were with their mother up in the heaven. When the father returned home from the field in the evening, he found his wife and children were missing. He asked his neighbors about the whereabouts of his wife and children, but nobody could tell him where they went. Days passed, but there was no clue about their disappearance. One day, as he was sitting sadly all by himself outside his house, brooding over his misfortune, a crow flew past over him, and sitting over the rooftop, the crow asked, "Hey man, what makes you so gloomy?" The man replied, "Why should I be sad when my wife and children have disappeared without any clue?" "Worry no more, young man. I know where your wife and children have gone. But what will you offer me in return if I tell you where they are?" the crow asked, making it a point for a deal. "Whatever you wish, just name your deal," the man said. The crow was satisfied with the answer, and so it instructed the man to fetch charcoal powder in a wooden plate and pork in another, and then pour water in the bowl of charcoal and stir it. After that, the crow immersed itself in it. The crow then ate the pork until its feather became black and shiny. Prior to this, the crow was said to be white. Having transformed into a blackbird, the crow cheerfully told the man to follow its instructions, and he did it obediently. The crow led the man to a certain place where 7 bamboo trees grew in a row. It then flew over the grove and finally perched on one of the bamboo and told the man to search for the tallest bamboo growing in the middle. "Now climb up on the bamboo tree," the crow instructed. The man did as he was told, and behold, as he reached the top, he saw the heaven gate. He entered the gate, and as he walked down the streets of heaven, he found his children playing outside while his wife leisurely watched them play. The family was thus reunited once again. That evening was all stories. His wife narrated about her miseries living on earth and how she found back her lost wings, while the husband recounted the mental distress he had undergone without her and the children after their disappearance. The following morning, the husband said, "We must now get ready to go." But his wife flatly refused. "I'll never go back to earth," she replied. "If you want to go, take our son with you. Our daughter will stay with me." He said, "The custom here is that daughters stay with mothers and sons with their fathers," she said, and cautioned them to be careful and watchful while on the way down to the earth. Since his wife refused to come, he took his son with him without paying heed to her warnings and proceeded towards home. They had not gone very far when on the way he saw Sekisiku, a demon, weaving with his mouth. Taking Sekisiku to be a human, the man teased him, saying, "Oh, Sekisiku, why are you weaving with your mouth?" This angered Sekisiku. He instantly dropped his weaving sword and roared and ran after them. At this time, the father took his son and ran back to his wife. The wife tried to save them by covering him with huge pots and also placing another 6 such pots near it to confuse the demon. But Seki Seku was so enraged by that attempt, he threw away all the 7 pots with its beak, broke the head of the man, and sucked all his brain and blood. The man was thus left unconscious without a brain in his head. The wife tried in her bid to restore her husband to life. She killed some pigs and chicken and put their brains in his head and infused blood into his body. She thus survived him for some time, but soon the animals were exhausted and the man died. That was the story of a love affair between an angel and a man. Even today, people nostalgically sing about the marriage between the human being and the angel.